If you're a high achiever considering a move to Rochester, Minnesota, you're probably not just thinking about square footage or neighborhoods. You're thinking about performance, sustainability, and whether your life will actually feel better once you get here. That's a different question. And it's not about buying a house, it's about building a life that supports the level that you operate at. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate at eXp Realty, right here in Rochester, Minnesota. And my husband Bruce and I work with driven professionals every week. Physicians, specialists, executives, remote leaders, entrepreneurs, people who are used to moving fast and carrying heavy responsibility. And one thing we consistently hear after they relocate is, I did not realize how much background stress I was living with until it was gone. And that statement says a lot about what life feels like here. But before we go any deeper, if these honest conversations about relocation and lifestyle are helpful to you, please make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. We post weekly videos designed for professionals just like you who want clarity before you move, not surprises after you arrive. Now let's talk about what actually changes when high achievers move here. Now the first shift that most professionals feel is the pace outside of work. Rochester is home to one of the most respected medical institutions in the world. The work environment is demanding, standards are high, and expectations are real. But when you leave that environment, the city doesn't match that intensity. The outside world feels grounded. There's movement, but there's not chaos. There's growth, but there's not that pressure. And that contrast, it creates space. And in larger metro markets, intensity doesn't stop when you leave the office. Traffic is aggressive, social environments are competitive, schedules remain stacked, and even your downtime feels structured and hurried. But in Rochester, the intensity tends to stay at work. So when you drive home, you transition into normal life quickly. You aren't spending an hour decompressing in congested traffic. You are home in minutes, and that immediate shift, it affects your stress level more than you expect. Another noticeable difference is time. High achievers value time more than almost anything else. When relocation clients move here from dense metro areas, they often gain back several hours per week. Less friction, less waiting, less logistical complexity, and those reclaimed hours, those compound over time, and those turn into consistent workouts, family dinners, involvement in children's activities, maybe golf leagues, or just simply rest. And rest is something many high performers haven't prioritized for years. Now, there is a strong health culture here that aligns well with driven professionals. We have one of the best trail systems in the state. Our golf communities are well established. Fitness centers are really busy in the mornings and the evenings, and you see colleagues investing in their health. You see leadership participating in community races and events, and wellness isn't just a trend here, it is integrated into our daily life. And that makes it easier to maintain discipline outside of work. Now, socially, Rochester feels different from larger competitive markets. Success is respected, but it's not constantly displayed. You'll see beautiful homes and luxury builds. You'll meet accomplished professionals, but the culture doesn't revolve around proving your status. Conversations tend to center around family, service, community involvement, and a shared purpose rather than constant comparison. And that subtle culture tone, it's going to reduce your invisible pressure. And at this point in the decision process, if you're evaluating whether Rochester aligns with your lifestyle goals, you can scan that QR code on the screen and download our free Rochester Relocation Starter Kit. It'll walk you through the transition from career opportunity to lifestyle sustainability, because those are two separate conversations. Now let's talk about community structure. Many professionals worry about building their peer relationships in a new city. Now, Rochester's professional networks are really layered, but they're interconnected. Healthcare, research, biotech, education, and local business communities, they overlap in meaningful ways. And introductions happen through work, nonprofit boards, community events, and shared involvement. And relationships here aren't transactional. They build gradually, but they last. And that durability reflects a broader culture right here in Rochester. Another key shift is predictability. In larger urban environments, Unpredictability becomes pretty normal. Traffic patterns change constantly. Social schedules fluctuate. Logistics can consume your energy. And in Rochester, that daily structure feels pretty stable. You can plan your week with reasonable confidence that it's going to unfold as you expect it to. And that consistency lowers decision fatigue. And when decision fatigue decreases, clarity increases. We also see high achievers recalibrate their definition of success after relocating. In more aggressive markets, success often means visibility, scale, and constant expansion. In Rochester, success often means impact, sustainability, and balance. You still perform at a very high level, you still advance in your field, but you're not surrounded by nonstop external noise. The environment supports focus rather than distraction. And that doesn't mean Rochester lacks sophistication. There are still strong dining options. There are professional circles that are impressive. There are luxury neighborhoods, private golf communities, and custom homes well into the 7 figures. But the tone is just measured rather than flashy, and it feels established rather than performative. Now, it's important to be honest. If you really thrive on nonstop metropolitan stimulation and that dense urban energy, Rochester is going to feel steady in a way that kind of surprises you. But if you want your career to remain demanding while your personal life becomes more sustainable, this city creates that opportunity. Now, high performance at work and stability outside of it, that combination is rare. So if this perspective is helping you think differently about relocation, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Each week we continue breaking down different aspects of moving to Rochester so that you can evaluate whether it truly aligns with how you want to live. I'm Kelly Domaille with Domaille Real Estate, and we help driven professionals relocate with intention so the move improves not just their address, but their daily rhythm and long-term sustainability. In the next video, we're going to address a question that we hear constantly, and we're going to answer it directly. Is Rochester boring? We'll see. We'll see you in the next video.